Welcome to Chan and Cherry.
Let's make English easy for everyone.
Hey, English learners! Welcome back to Learn English with Chan and Cherry, the perfect place to get comfortable with your English. I'm Cherry.
Hello, Cherry, and hello, everyone. I'm Chan. How are you today, Cherry?
I'm doing really well, Chan. Thank you for asking. And wow, I'm so happy you're here today because we have such a fun episode planned.
Yes, and I'm excited too. Cherry, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about 10 simple English conversations for beginners. Real conversations, the kind you use every day, at a coffee shop, with a new friend, at work, everywhere.
Oh, I love this, because sometimes I know English words, but when someone talks to me, I just freeze. My brain goes totally blank.
Jan, you just described every English learner ever. That freezing feeling is so real. But today, after this episode, you are going to feel so much more ready.
Yes, let's go. I need this so badly.
But first, real quick, if this podcast is helping your English, please subscribe, like, and share it with a friend who is also learning. Turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. This podcast helps you grow your English every single week.
Yes, share it. Your friend needs this too. Okay, Cherry, let's start. Conversation number 1. What is it?
Okay, conversation number 1. Greeting someone for the first time. This is the most basic conversation in English. You walk into a room, you see someone new, and you say, "Hi, I'm Cherry. Nice to meet you."
And the other person says, "Nice to meet you too. I'm Chan."
Perfect. See? That's it. Simple, clean, friendly. But here's something interesting. A lot of beginners say nice to meet you even when they are meeting someone again. That sounds a little strange.
Wait, is that wrong?
A little bit, yes. If you already met someone before, you say nice to see you again. Small difference, big impact.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that. You mean like people notice that?
Native speakers notice, yes. But don't worry, it's a small mistake and very easy to fix once you know.
Okay, I'll remember that. What's conversation number 2?
Conversation number 2, asking how someone is. Now, the most common one is, "How are you?" And the usual answer is, "I'm fine, thank you." And you?
Yes, I learned that in school. I'm fine, thank you.
Everyone did. But here's the thing. In real life, people say so many other things, like, "I'm doing great," or "not bad," or "pretty good, thanks," or even, "Honestly, I'm a little tired today."
Really? They say honestly? That sounds so natural.
That's because it is natural. Real conversations have real feelings. You don't always have to say fine. You can be honest and still be polite.
You mean like I can say, "I'm a little stressed today," and that's okay?
Totally okay. And the other person will usually say, "Oh no, what's going on?" And now you have a real conversation.
That's amazing. Real conversations start from real answers. I love that.
Exactly. Okay, conversation number 3. This one is so useful. Asking for someone's name when you forgot it.
Oh no, this happens to me all the time. I meet someone, I forget the name immediately.
Same. So what do? You say, "I'm so sorry. Could you remind me of your name?" Or even more casual, "Hey, I'm sorry. Your name again?"
And people don't get angry?
Not at all. People forget names all the time. It's human. And asking politely shows respect. It's much better than just calling someone, "Hey, you."
Yes, hey you is probably not good. Got it.
Now, wait, here's the interesting part. There's a little trick. When you say sorry first, the other person feels comfortable immediately. That one word, sorry, makes the whole conversation smooth.
Wow, just one word changes everything. You mean like sorry is like a magic word in English?
Kind of, yes. Sorry, please, and thank you. These three little words open so many doors in English conversations.
I'm writing that down. 3 magic words. Okay, number 4.
Conversation number 4, ordering food or drinks. Now, imagine you're at a cafe. The server comes to your table and says, "What can I get for you?" What do you say?
I want coffee.
Conversation number 6, talking about your job or what you do. Someone asks you, "So, what do you do?" What's your answer, Chan?
I say, I am a podcaster? Is that right?
Yes, that's right. You can say, "I'm a podcaster," or "I work in education," or "I'm a student," or "I run my own business." All of these are simple and clear.
What if I don't have a job right now? Like, what if I'm between jobs?
Great question. You can say, "I'm currently looking for work," or "I'm taking a break right now," or "I'm freelancing." These are all honest and totally normal answers.
Oh, that's a relief. I thought I had to have a perfect answer.
No perfect answer needed. Just be simple and honest. English conversations are not interviews, they're just friendly chats.
I like that. Friendly chats. Okay, number 7.
Conversation number 7, talking about your hobbies. This one is so fun because it opens up the whole conversation. Someone asks, "What do you like to do in your free time?"
Oh, I like listening to English podcasts, especially this one.
Perfect answer. You say, "I enjoy listening to podcasts," or "I love watching movies," or "I'm really into cooking lately." The phrase "I'm really into" is very casual and very natural.
I'm really into. You mean like I'm really into learning English?
Exactly. That sounds like a native speaker right there. And when you share a hobby, the other person often says, "Oh, really? Me too." And suddenly you have a real connection.
Wow. Hobbies are like bridges between people.
That's a beautiful way to say it, Chan. Yes, hobbies build connections. This is where things change in a conversation. Once you find something in common, the whole energy shifts. The conversation becomes warm and easy.
I can feel that. Like when someone says they love the same show as me, I just light up.
Same. Okay, number 8. Conversation number 8. Making plans with someone. You want to hang out with a new friend. What do you say?
Um, do you want to hang out sometime?
Yes, that's casual and friendly. You can also say, "Would you like to grab coffee sometime?" Or "Are you free this weekend?" Or "Let's get together soon." And if they say yes, then what? That works. But a more natural and polite way is, "I'll have a coffee, please." Or "Can I get a coffee?" Or "Could I have a latte, please?"
Oh, all have sounds so much more natural than I want.
Yes, "I want" is not wrong, but in English conversation, "I'll have" sounds friendlier, softer, like you're having a chat, not placing an order at a machine.
You mean like tone matters even when you order coffee?
Always. And here's a funny story. When I first moved to a new city, I walked into a cafe and the server asked, "What are you having today?" And I panicked. I thought, "Having? Having what? I don't understand."
Oh no. What did you do?
I just said, "Coffee?" And she smiled and said, "Great choice." So even when you're confused, just say one word and smile. It works.
That is the best advice. One word and smile. I'm using that forever.
It saved me so many times. Okay, conversation number 5. This one is really important for everyday life. Asking for directions.
Ugh, this is hard. When someone gives me directions in English, they talk so fast and I get lost. Not just on the street, I get lost in the conversation too.
I completely understand. So first, let's learn how to ask. You say, "Excuse me, how do I get to the train station?" Or, "Sorry, could you tell me where the supermarket is?"
Okay, excuse me and sorry again, those magic words.
They work every time. Now, when someone gives you directions and you don't understand, you say, I'm sorry, could you say that again? Slowly, please. Or could you repeat that?
Oh, I can ask them to slow down? They won't be annoyed?
Never. People are usually very happy to help, and asking them to slow down is perfectly normal. It shows you're trying to understand, and that's a good thing.
You mean like it's okay to ask someone to repeat in real life, not just in class?
100% okay. This is real life speaking skill. Use it freely.
Okay, I feel better now. Number 6. What's next?
Then you say, "Great, how about Saturday?" Or, "I'm free on Friday evening. Does that work for you?"
Does that work for you? Oh, I like that. You mean like it sounds polite but also relaxed.
Exactly. It gives the other person a choice, and that makes them feel comfortable. You're not pushing, you're inviting.
That's such a good difference. Pushing versus inviting. I'll remember that.
Now, you won't believe what happens next in real conversations. Sometimes people say, "Yeah, let's do it," and then nothing happens.
Yes, this happens to me. We say, let's meet, and then it just disappears.
So the trick is to be specific. Don't just say sometime. Say, "How about this Saturday at 3 p.m.?" Specific plans actually happen. Vague plans usually don't.
Oh, wow, that's so true. Be specific. Got it.
Okay, we're almost at the finish line. Conversation number 9, giving and receiving compliments. This is one people often feel uncomfortable with, especially receiving them.
Yes, when someone says, your English is so good, I don't know what to say. I get shy.
So many learners feel this way. The simple answer is just say, "Thank you so much. That means a lot." Or, "That's so kind of you to say."
That easy?
That easy. You don't have to say, "No, no, my English is terrible." That's too negative. Accept the compliment with a smile and a thank you.
You mean like it's polite to say thank you, not to reject the compliment?
In English culture, yes, rejecting a compliment too much can actually feel awkward to the other person. A warm thank you is always the right move.
Okay, I'm going to practice saying thank you to compliments. That sounds strange, but I need it.
We all do, and giving compliments is just as important. You can say, "I love your style," or "You're so good at this," or "That was really impressive." Simple, warm, genuine.
And people just feel good when you say that, right?
Always. A genuine compliment can make someone's whole day better. Never underestimate the power of kind words.
Okay, last one. Number 10. Let's go.
Conversation number 10, saying goodbye. Now, this sounds simple, but there are so many ways to do it in English.
I know goodbye and bye-bye. What else is there?
So much more. You can say, "See you later," even if you don't know when you'll see them. Or "Take care," which means stay safe, be well, or "Have a great day." Or "It was so nice talking to you." Or "Let's do this again soon."
Wow, there are so many warm ways to say goodbye in English.
And each one leaves the other person feeling good. Your last words in a conversation are what people remember, so make them warm.
You mean like the last thing you say is the thing that stays in people's hearts?
Ah, beautifully said, Chan. Yes, always end a conversation with warmth. It makes people want to talk to you again.
Okay, so the 10 conversations are greeting someone new, asking how they are, asking for a forgotten name, ordering food, asking for directions, talking about your job, talking about hobbies, making plans, giving compliments, and saying goodbye.
Perfect summary. You were listening the whole time.
Of course, I'm the student here.
Okay, before we close, I want you, our listener, to imagine something. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you walk into a room, there are people speaking English all around you. Before today, maybe you felt nervous, maybe your heart was beating fast, but now you have 10 conversations ready in your mind. You know how to say hello, how to ask how someone is, how to order your coffee, how to make a friend. You walk in with a smile. You say, "Hi, I'm," and the conversation begins. Just like that. You are ready.
I love that image. That's so encouraging, Cherry.
English is not about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to start. And you have already started because you're here, listening, learning every single day.
And that is something to be proud of. Every listener here, you are doing great. Seriously.
You really are. Now, here is our question for you today. Which of these 10 conversations is the most difficult for you right now? Is it meeting someone new, ordering food, making plans? Tell us in the comments. We read every single one.
Yes, write it down below. And if you want to practice, write out the full conversation in the comments. We want to see your English.
That's such a great idea. And remember, every comment, every attempt, every try is a step forward. We are so proud of you for being here.
Thank you for listening to Learn English with Chan and Cherry. If this episode helped you, please share it with someone who needs it today.
Subscribe, turn on your notifications, and we will see you in the next episode. Until then, keep speaking, keep trying, and keep growing. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you next time. You've got this.